Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in today's episode of Dye Time I'm going to be doing some resist dyeing onto this 50 grams of alpaca yarn which has already been dyed. This is commercially dyed yarn. I think the colourway is mint. I got it from Yarn Undyed. There we go. I have wound this into a skein as this is generally how my skeins come. This has been pre-soaking for 2 days. It doesn't need to be pre-soaking for quite that long. I just set this up to dye 2 days ago and then ran out of time. And I've added a zip tie on here. So this is how I'm going to attempt to dye this yarn, hoping that the skein and the twists in this will result in some natural resists. And we'll get a nice colour on here, I hope. The colour I'm going to use today is this beautiful purple. This is Bougainvillea. It's a fibre reactive dye from Dharma. And I've dissolved 1 gram of dye in here. I've not measured out the water here because I'm using all of it. It's not boiling, it's not too hot yet, so I can just rinse out this jug. This equipment is all dedicated for dyeing. I don't use it for food. And there we go, just add that in there. Now, since alpaca is an animal fibre, it needs the right dye. So fibre reactive dyes you can use. You can also use acid dyes and food colouring. It needs heat, and so this is on the stove. Actually, I'm going to turn it down. It's starting to bubble. And I have just added in some vinegar. It needs an acid. And I generally use vinegar. You can use citric acid as well, but vinegar is a lot cheaper than citric acid, which is the main reason why I use it. So I'm just going to leave this now until all of the dye has bounced to the yarn. Now, this has been on the heat for probably close to 40 minutes. And you can see there is still the tiniest hint of colour in there. Let's see, most of that is in that beautiful yarn. So I'm in 2 minds as to what to do. I think what I'm going to do is I've got here approximately 20 grams of Welsh top that I have spun myself, and it's been soaking in some water, and I'm going to just very carefully add it in here just to see if we can get up that last bit of dye. You can see quite a lot of this water has evaporated. Yeah. Hopefully this will just help to get up that last of the dye. I'm going to add a little bit more water in there just to top that up. There we go. I'm going to leave this for probably another 15 minutes and then I'll turn the heat off and we'll let it cool down. This has been on the heat for an extra 20 minutes and I think there's the tiniest hint of purple still in here. I think I might have used far too much purple in this experiment. Oh well, live and learn. But so what I'm going to do now, so this I think has been on for, I don't know, over an hour, which is more than enough time. I think it has absorbed everything it's going to. So I'm just going to remove the alpaca, put it in a tray just to cool down separately. And this I am going to just cover up, turn off the heat and just leave it to cool down completely. Now this alpaca is still very hot. As you can see, the steam's all still coming off of it. But I want it to cool down because I want to speckle on it. So I'm going to unravel this. Oh, I can still see green. Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, that's great. Oh, this is really pretty how it is. Oh man, I really like this how it is. I don't think I'm going to speckle on this actually. It was a suggestion that I did a resist dye light purple. This is not light purple. And then speckle over the top. But I think this is probably done. I could do this again, maybe with less purple next time, and then speckle on that afterwards. But oh, this is so pretty the way it is. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to call it now. This is done. And it is fine to change your mind halfway through. You decide when you're done. And yeah, I think if I tried to speckle on this, it would take away from just how gorgeous this yarn is already. Yeah, so that's done now. I'm going to let it cool down and then I can wash it. This beautiful alpaca has now cooled down, so I'm going to very carefully wash it. It's not superwash yarn, so I'm just mindful about agitating this too much. I'm not going to let the water run on top of it. Oh, this water is very, very cold. So I've just added a little bit of washing up liquid and I'm going to let it sort of sit in there for a bit. Doesn't look like there's any bleeding. No, I don't think there is. So I'm going to just wash this through a couple of times, get all the soap out, get out any dye that may not be bound to the yarn, and then I can hang this up to dry.
And here is the finished yarn. I'm really, really happy that I didn't go and speckle on top of this. I'm happy I stopped when I did, and I think this is gorgeous yarn. I think I probably would have ruined it if I tried to speckle on top as well. I will definitely try this again. Next time I won't use quite as much dye so that these dark patches won't be as dark, and then speckle on top of that, which I think would work. I really love that we've got lots of shades of purple. We've got these really dark patches sort of fading into paler patches. There's some little random patches. There's some lovely pale, really, really pale. And then we still got this green throughout as well. So it's sort of, especially on the inside of the skein, you can see if I open it up. I really love it. I think this was a big success and I am glad I stopped when I did. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the extra hand spun yarn that I put in the dye bath to absorb the rest of that colour. It's right here, and I did over dye it a bit more, and that will be in another video at some point. So if you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on, you won't miss when that video and any others get published. I normally publish my videos at around about 6 PM UK time on Mondays. And I like to try and do different things. I like to experiment. So there should always be something interesting to watch. Thank you so much for watching.